This is the Jocko Underground Podcast, number 115, sitting here with Echo Charles. And last week, the topic of betrayal came up.
Yeah.
And so we talked about betrayal, which we kind of discussed the fact that it was a strong word, right? It's a very strong word. Usually, things wouldn't quite qualify as betrayal, even though we might throw the word out there. It does happen, though.
Yeah.
And that got me to thinking about revenge. Because there's times where we're wronged and we need revenge, vengeance.
Yeah.
Very popular sentiment that people have. That's why there's a lot of movies about it.
Yeah.
Death Wish.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Charles Bronson.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you I had a band called Bronson's Children?
Yes, you did.
So believe me, Death Wish was all up in the mix. Have you ever? The original Death Wish is interesting because he kind of doesn't. He like throws up when he gets done killing people. It's a much more kind of nuanced movie. By the time you get to Death Wish 4, he's just mowing people down. It's all good, but it's a revenge film.
Yeah.
Unforgiven. You ever seen Unforgiven?
Yeah, I did. I mean, yeah, back in the day.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie. But it's a revenge movie. So part of it's not. It turns into a revenge movie. Turns into like the last whatever it is, 20 minutes, just it may even be 15 minutes. The whole movie is just blah blah boom. It's revenge, and that's what we're there for. In the end.
Wait, does it? Is it always a revenge
No,
movie?
not really.
So something
No.
happens and then he wants vengeance, kind of a thing during the movie.
Yep.
Okay.
They kill his friend. And then he kills them.
Like later in the movie.
Yeah, but it's late in the movie.
Yeah.
That's not the plot of the whole movie. It's not like in the beginning, and now we do vengeance.
Yeah.
Terminal List. Have you seen Terminal List? With written by Jack Carr.
Yeah. I know Terminal List.
That Chris Pratt's in it.
Yeah.
Playing
CP.
James Reese.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's just big revenge, kind of in a way, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, hey, you killed my family. I'm killing everyone.
Yeah.
And we get it, right? These movies are cool. We relate to the sentiment of the movie. We feel good about it. Why? Because that's what we think we would do. And here's the bottom line. You end up in jail, right? I mean, all those movies, you end up in jail. Maybe you get away with it in Unforgiven because it's taking place back in the day. But Death Wish, eventually you're going to jail. James Reese, I suspend, what is it? How do they say? Suspend disbelief?
Yeah.
What is it? You got to suspend disbelief because in the show, he's just like in Coronado, California, just killing 10 people or whatever. Commanders from the military.
Yeah.
And then rolling. Like he's on the run a little bit, but you know, there was a manhunt a while ago. Some Navy guy went on a little bit of a killing spree. And they caught him real quick. Look, James Reese, is he more skilled? Yes, he is.
Sure.
But what I'm saying is, you're going to end up in jail. So, which could be worth it, right? Somebody does something, someone harms your family in an irrevocable way. Cool, it's on. Everyone dies. I get that. That's a real thing. But normally, like normal everyday life, that's not what we're getting revenge for. We need to get revenge for lesser crimes or infractions, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of like the same thing. Betrayal. What is it really? You know what I mean? So I think we need to think about what we're talking about. If you're going to go full revenge because someone did something irrevocable to your family, cool. I get it. You want to go full James Reese and just get your murder on? Cool. Generally speaking, it's not going to be a great move for normal life, right? When we're trying to get revenge on a normal sort of infraction in life, it might even be significant, but not illegal. You know what I mean? So there's a bunch of Elie Wiesel, the Holocaust survivor, author, he wrote the book Night. He said the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference, which is a very critical thing. First person that said that to me was Elgin James. The opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference, meaning I just don't care. which is, so when you get dumped, when you're 15, and you're like, I hate her. No. If you really want to go the opposite of love, go to indifference. I don't care about you. That's where you want to be. Marcus Aurelius said the best revenge is to not be like your enemy. It's another good one. And then finally, Frank Sinatra, and we'll kind of hold this theme. The best revenge is massive success. This is a good call. I agree with all those ideas, like those general concepts. The best thing you can do when someone wrongs you is move on, forget about them, and go win. That's truly the best revenge that you can get. Go kick ass. If you do that, here's the thing. Let's say you did something that was wrong to me, and then I just went and kicked ass, and I was massively successful with whatever I was doing, and then you saw me 6 years later, and you're kind of the same you, and I'm this massively successful. That would be the harshest thing I could do to you. Now, if I was to, like, you do something against me, and so I go and freaking cut the tires of your car, and I freaking smash the windows, and I piss in your gas tank, and like, and then I get arrested, but I got you because you were late for like, think of how stupid that is.
Yeah.
You actually win, by the way. When I'm in jail now, or I have a big fine, and you're suing me, like, you win.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm in court, and they're like, so you urinated in his gas tank? And I'm like, well, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but he did this thing to me. It's like, you were immature. Yeah. You were stupid. So getting caught up in revenge means you get caught up in some kind of envy / jealousy / anger, which are all a bunch of emotions that you're wasting that are going to drive you to make bad decisions, ego-based decisions, and they all give you, echo Charles, if I'm doing these, if I'm angry at you, if I'm mad at you, if I'm jealous of you, all those things give you the upper hand. They give you the W. They give you the win. The fact that I'm walking around all mad, you won. Why am I going to allow you to have, live in my head rent free?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Live in my head rent free, which is what's going to happen if I can't forgive you. Forgive and forget. And I know that's a big ask. Forgive and forget. It's actually, here's the good thing. When I forgive it, when you do something wrong to me, you wronged me. You stole my girlfriend. You borrowed money from me in some investment thing and you didn't pay me back. You, like those kind of things. This is the kind of thing we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
It's not illegal for you to steal my girlfriend. It's not, if you presented an investment to me and I invested money and then you just didn't pay me back because everything went to shit, and that's not illegal. I mean, sure, it could be some form, but I'm saying in this case, not illegal. What else could you do to me that would require some type, that would fuel me for revenge?
That's not illegal.
That's not illegal.
Yeah, the girlfriend thing.
Talking
trash behind your back. Or
I told you about this job offer. I told you about this job. Hey, I'm going to apply for this job, and then you went and applied for the job and you got it. You know what I mean? I'm going to get you back.
Yeah.
Not illegal, but it's definitely enough. I mean, it's a life-changing situation. Yeah. Especially you got the job that I wanted. You're getting, $82,000 a year. I thought I could have had that job. So those kind of things, the worst thing I can do is be all caught up in it and let you live in my freaking mental headspace forever. The best thing to do is be like, hey, I hope that job works out. Good for you, bro. Good luck. I sincerely mean it. That's the best thing I could do. And I know that's a big ask. And I know that people have a hard time with that. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's the best thing for me. And it's going to sound weird. It's the worst thing for you. It's actually the worst thing for you. Because I want to have revenge on you. The best revenge I can have on you is that you realize that you're a piece of shit. And that I'm a good person and you screwed me over. That's the best thing. That's the worst thing for you. And it might take 5 years, it might take 8 years, it might take 3 years, it might be immediate, I don't know. It might be on your deathbed. But the worst thing that I can do to you is make you realize that you were a piece of shit in what you did.
Yeah.
And that I was a good person that you did it to.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of strange. Now, look, if you're a sociopath and you're like, whatever, you didn't apply for the job quick enough, it's my job.
Right.
Okay, cool. Nonetheless, even if it doesn't affect you at all, it's still the best thing because now I can move on and carry on with the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's how you get revenge. And it truly is the best way to get revenge. Forgive and forget and go win big. That's my recommendation.
So I've always had like kind of these weird questions about revenge, forgiveness actually more than revenge, but like can you forgive someone who isn't sorry?
Yes.
Like, you know, the old school, like, oh, you know, I was bullied when I was in high school and they're like, oh, I forgive him. But then the bully guy is still a bully. And he's like, I'm not sorry about that. Like freaking whatever you deserve. You're a dork or whatever. You can still forgive him, you think?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Just like you're a flawed human being kind of thing. And hey, man,
I feel sorry for you, man.
It's not your fault kind of a thing.
I'm going to move on.
Yeah. The whole, even calling it revenge.
If you can't forgive him, at least move on.
Yeah, and that's
forgiving is going to make it easier for you.
Yeah, and I think just the way.
But if forgiving is too hard for you, at least just move on. Be like, you know what? That person's an idiot. I'm moving on.
Yeah, and
they're out of my life. I'm moving on.
Yeah, and forgiving is actually pretty easy. Like, and actually, you do a good job of illustrating it in the Warrior Kid books, or especially the second one with Nathan James. Where, yeah, you know, it's like, hey, people are flawed, you know, and especially with the bullying thing, for example. Where like there were somewhere along the line they learned to bully other people in whatever capacity, and they're like flawed. That's not a good quality to have, no matter who you are. Like even a bully doesn't necessarily overall reflect on himself and be like, you know what, I'm really glad that I'm a bully, that I bully weaker people. Like no one's really like that. And even if they are like that, let's say they're a psychopath, whatever, sociopath, it's kind of like, damn, no one wants their kids to be a sociopath. Like that's a bad thing to be, no matter how the individual feels about it. So it's kind of like, hey, that's a flawed individual. So man, I gotta kind of forgive in that way. Now, functionally, it's different. Where if they're causing trouble, then yes, the trouble has to stop for sure. But as far as forgiving someone, that does make sense. Vengeance, I think, and wanting revenge, I feel like that's like it's kind of a slippery one where. If you're in the headspace that you want revenge, you have a problem. Like you're the one with the problem. Yeah. So yes, if you're just like, hey, let it go, and then just move forward and try to improve your life, for sure. Sure, incidentally, that could be revenge if the other person didn't get their life together. But what if you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna use that as motivation. I'm gonna get my life together and I'm gonna do well in life. But meanwhile, what if that person who bullied you in high school will say, what if they got their life together too and they're doing just as well? It's kind of like, you know, yeah. If you truly let it go,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
I didn't say it was easy.
Yeah, fully, yes. And I'm not saying it's not. It has no bearing on like what you said for sure. I'm just saying me trying to understand vengeance in and of itself. Like if I have this massive drive for vengeance in whatever way, even if I'm like, I'm gonna kick ass in life, and that's my version of revenge. Just that, the fact that I want that revenge could be a problem. Because you never know. Like I said, what if this other person is like, hey, awesome. Yeah. And
then you could let it eat you up for the rest of your life.
And it probably would.
Always compare and always look at them and always be like, they didn't deserve that.
Yes.
For what they did to me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to eat you up, man. Let it go.
Yeah. Yeah, big time. I mean, kind of the ironic
thing. But here's the other thing that is, look, and this isn't, if you're a bad person, over time you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Look, it might take a long, long time because we have people like Madoff, right? Bernie Madoff. He's a bad person, scumbag. Yeah. It took 75 years or however old he was before it finally caught up with him.
Yeah.
So, yes, there are people that can ride that socio. That is a little excerpt of what we are doing on the Jocko Underground podcast. So if you want to continue to listen, go to JockoUnderground.com and subscribe. And we're doing this to mitigate our reliance on external platforms so we are not subject to their control. And we're doing it so we can give you more control, more interaction, more direct connections, better communications with us, strengthen this legion of troopers that are in the game with us. So thank you. It's JockoUnderground.com. It costs $8.18 a month. And if you can't afford to support us, we can still support you. Just email assistance@JockoUnderground.com and we'll get you taken care of. Until then, we will see you mobilized underground.